Hi everyone, my name is Esther Klein. I am your host here at the Klein Report. I'm very excited today. We have a special guest. His name is Don. He is the CEO of a company called Givex. We're going to get into it very shortly. But before we, learn about the company, I think it's really important that we learn about you, Don. So just give us a bit of a background about, who you are.
Okay, well, I guess I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I've been running and building my own businesses for the last number of decades. I don't want to date myself too much, but I've, started numerous companies, had many successes and, many failures, more successes than failures.
That's key.
We've been doing this for a long time. So I enjoy building companies, and that's kind of my background as as an entrepreneur.
Amazing. And where did you go to university? Where did you study? What did you study?
Well, I went to University of Alberta, and I got married very young, and I didn't finish university because I started my first company. I had employees, and I couldn't do both. So I bailed on university to build my first business.
Love it.
I took physics and chemistry, and so I have a background in sciences and a background in business.
Very diverse. Love that. Okay, great. So let's talk about Givex. It seems like a really exciting company that retailers can really benefit from. So can you just give us a little bit of background about this company specifically?
Well, Givex, I started Givex with my wife, Deborah, back in 1999. And we were looking for something to do after we had an internet company and we sold that. And we were looking for something else to do. And we decided to use our knowledge of the internet to build a little business that we could build while we went sailing. Deb and I sold everything we had and decided to move onto a boat in the Bahamas. And that's what we were going to do is, kind of a lifestyle change.
I love that.
We quickly realized that while that was great and the business was working nicely, it started to grow rapidly and it became harder and harder to do. So while we still love to sail, we've become more landlocked than we wanted to be. And but the business has grown substantially. We grew from just Deb and I and one programmer to now 270 people globally. We have offices and data centers in 10 countries. We have customers in over 70 countries, processing millions and millions of transactions a day for our clients. And so it's that's kind of the nature of the business. Givex is basically if you think about a restaurant or a retail store, we try and be the fluidity between the consumer and the merchant, making sure that everything that happens between the consumer and the merchant is fluid, where you can, it helps the transaction occur properly. We gather the information on the transaction, be able to take that information, build campaigns so the merchant can talk to the customer and see how they're doing or what they're buying, where they're buying, what trends are happening, help control their inventory, help use apps so that they can buy online, have an online presence if they need an online presence. So all of those functionality Givex has, and it's all part of our DNA, and that's what it all runs on the same portal. So our clients are the ability to, have one person to talk to if they have a problem, which is a big difference with Givex compared to a lot of our competitors.
Wow. Okay, so I just want to pause for 1 second. You said that you started this with your wife, Deborah, right? Which
Right.
I think is quite phenomenal. As a female, I want to, give her a shout out. Is she here?
Oh yeah, she's here. She's coming.
Tell her I say she sounds like a phenomenal woman. Hi, Deborah. Lovely to meet you. I love the glasses.
Oh, thank you.
Very fashionable. I'm into them.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you as well. Well, you sound like a very special, talented individual.
Yeah, well, Deb has built and helped develop all of.
Tell me a little bit more about your involvement, Deborah, or together with this company.
Well, Deb is she wants me to do the talking.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah, well, Deb is responsible for all of our human resources. She built all the tools and everything necessary to look after our team. We have 270 people around the world, and we're hiring on a constant basis. And of course, people leave regularly. Unfortunately, it is part of life today. So we have to be able to track our team members and make sure that we know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what their career aspirations are, so that we can help them grow their career at Givex. And so Deborah's been the person that's actually been able to make that work, and she's very involved in the recruiting process. Go ahead, Henry.
He's your biggest cheerleader, eh?
So is, yeah. It is kind of also a bit of a dating myself, but some of the first individuals that I hired who are now like the senior vice presidents in the company were through the somewhat DOS-based monster.com.
No way.
In the day. And I used to be reading through this information, looking for gems and diamonds, and sure enough, I found them. It was amazing. Yeah, and in that day, we had just sort of the three of us when we started, one other very key programmer. And in that day, it was as fun as, oh, well, could you start this afternoon?
That's great. That's amazing.
And that's how it grew. Just
so how many employees do you have now?
270.
Wow.
Globally.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we have that in 10 countries, spread around 10 countries around the world. We have operations in Canada, the United States, Brazil, like in South America, and Europe, the UK, in Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and a small operation in China, because we build our own tablets custom build our tablets.
Fantastic. And do you travel to all these places, every so often to check in?
We used to.
We did.
We used to. Now it's obviously harder. We haven't been doing much traveling in the last 18 months. So it's now, everything's all being done by Zoom. But, when the pandemic hit, we were able to show you the effectiveness of our tools. We were able to move everybody to work from home environment virtually overnight. All 270 people around the world started working from home, and basically have been working from home ever since. And maybe first quarter of next year, who knows what's going on.
Variant. Yes.
Variant. We will start going back to the office, but so, and that was a tribute to a lot to the tools that we put in place to help us manage the company remotely. And Deb's, obviously with the human resources tools that we've got to help keep track of what's going on.
Right. Wow. Sounds like you're running a very tight ship, you and Deborah over there.
Yes. We are sailors.
Right.
Yeah.
True. I was about to say, I hope you guys are still sailing. Every so often you have time for that, right? Right.
We do.
Okay, great. I guess I'm gonna, go into my next question. So I wanted to talk about some of the companies that you are partnered with. I know you work with, Major League Baseball teams, which is pretty phenomenal, pretty big deal. So, to create some familiarity with our audience, tell us about some, companies that you work with. I think that would be very, interesting to hear.
Well, we do. For example, we've been doing it now for over 15 years. We do Nike's gift card program around the world. We do Marriott Hotels. We do their program around the world. Best Western Hotels around the world, Four Seasons Hotels. We do McDonald's here in Canada for a number of different programs we do for them. A Second Cup, which we started off as a gift card client. They're now a full-on point of sale platform client. We have, just to give you an idea, and we do Whole Foods in the UK as one of our big clients there. So it's a wide variety of clients in hospitality and retail around the world. And
love that Nike. I mean, you sold me a Nike. I'm wearing Nike shoes right now, so that's really cool. Do you ever get like free merchandise from these places?
No.
What's that good for then?
No
I'm just joking. That's amazing. So, you're already at such an amazing place right now, and I guess I'm kind of curious, where do you see yourself in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? I know that's a long time, but I'm curious. I know, everyone has goals, so where do you see yourself in that timeline?
Well, Deb and I, because we are sailors and because the way we built our business is we chart using a compass. We just say, well, this is kind of the direction we want to go. And then we follow the winds and the waves and everything that happens along the way to try and adapt and adjust to what's going on as business environments change and things change. But our objective is to continue to grow the business. We've now already started transitioning a lot of the management of the business to the team members that Deb recruited many years ago. Our president is somebody we recruited. Deb recruited over 15 years ago. Our chief operating officer is over 15 years ago. So we started transitioning to that team so I can focus on acquisitions, which is really what I want to do, try and find more companies to acquire. And at the same time, now that we're public, I also have to do this sort of stuff, talk to you guys,
Right.
talk to shareholders, talk to potential shareholders, and explain the business in as much as I can, and hopefully let people know this is a great company and it's a great company to invest in. We've looked after our shareholders for 20 years. The original shareholders that invested with Givex over 20 years ago have all made some pretty good money on this transaction. We paid dividends to them for many, many years. So, we made a promise. We keep our promises. As part of our DNA, we have a little thing we sign off to keep our promises no matter what. And we've been doing that to our, shareholders, to our team members, to our customers particularly, and to our vendors, people, so that's important for us to have a good company that people want to work for, and that we have a good reputation out there for our merchants, which is really important, because without a good reputation, you don't keep your customers, and keeping your customers
Absolutely,
is how you make money.
yeah, that's very true. And how did you come up with the name Givex?
Well, when we started, we had some crazy idea at the time that we were going to become more of a charitable company, to do something around giving, but that didn't work out very well. But when you think about it, no transaction occurs unless somebody gives something.
That's very true.
You have to give somebody something and receive something in return in order for something to happen. So give X could be anything. It's a wide variety, and it's in
I like that.
So that's really how the name, so that's how the name, that's the genesis of the
Very
name.
clever. Was that like a thought out process between the two of you?
No, it's about
Five of us. Okay.
Of us. Yeah, but it was at the time, it was basically Deb and I that were kind of grinding it out, and but basically the two.
I like it. It's catchy. It's catchy. Givex. Flows off the tongue nicely.
Yeah. And then we had a young guy give us the G that we have in Givex, even though it looks like Google's G. We had the G before they had the G, and it's not quite the same, but it's close. Our branded G.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so the point of this page is stocks. So why should we invest in Givex?
Well, it's a company that I would say it's a de-risked technology play. We are a company that is profitable, have been profitable for many years. So it's not a company that's losing money in order to try and gain market share. We're a profitable company. We're going to stay profitable. We're going to continue to grow. So this is not the type of company you want to buy to do a flip. It's a sort of thing that you buy it and you hold it for years, because that's where the value is going to come. So I know with your audience, maybe this is what they're looking for. Maybe this is what they're not looking for. Everybody's different. But our shareholders that stuck with us for a long time have all done very well. So this is why we think people who invest in Givex is because we'll continue to grow. We're going to be here in 20 years.
Right.
We're going to continue to grow the business, and it'll be a successful company for many years in the future. So it's a good, solid company to invest in, and it'll grow, and it'll do well. I mean, we believe.
Yeah, and it's necessary. I mean, every company needs a liaison, a connector between the client and the business, and that's exactly what you do. Like that. So you're very beneficial to retailers. So, it's definitely
Yeah. I mean, it's a company, and their engagement platform. Givex has three areas really. It's engagement, which is our gift and loyalty card programs, point of sale, which is the POS systems, and then payments. So all of these areas are high growth areas that Givex, and we are one of the few companies out there on a global basis that can knit all of those together in one platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very important to note. This next question actually really ties into the theme that you've been discussing. The question is, did we miss the boat? Is now, now's a good time to invest?
Definitely not. Well, Givex is, matter of fact, right now is probably even a better time to buy than any.
Why?
Because the stock's gone down a wee bit from when we started. But the concept is that Givex was well priced on this RTO. like we're trading at 1.5 times revenue, and certainly at a reasonable multiple of our earnings. And we are making money, so we have earnings, so no, there's plenty of growth opportunity. Just kind of catching up with our peers, even after our peers have had their stocks drop like a rock. So we still have plenty to go to be in the same market cap range as somebody like a Nuvei or a Lightspeed. So we feel that there's plenty of opportunity for people to invest in the company. Now is a good time to buy, and then but just stick with it and hold on to it for a while, and I think it'll
right. We have to just be patient, as Warren Buffett puts it. Gotta just sit and wait. That's how you make the big bucks, right?
That's totally right. We have in Brazil, to give a good example, we have our managing director down there, Maria. We've been working with her for 10 years. And for the first 8 years, it was, just like grinding away, and she worked her very hard.
Cut himself there. You could say
it. And she's really blowing the lid off down there. I mean, we picked up iFood, which is one of it's like the Uber Eats of Brazil, with over 170,000 consumers on their platform.
Phenomenal.
And they have they're doing a great job and doing very well. Givex is so Maria's been able to turn that from kind of barely making any money to one of our most profitable profit centers. And she's done that just with a lot of hard work and patience. And so, we were able to take a company like that, it took a while, but we are now, doing many, many millions of dollars a year worth of business there. But it took time. So, all good things.
Absolutely.
Take a little bit of time.
Patience is key. Yeah. Can say it, enough times. So, I think we're going to start wrapping things up. I just wanted to note that, Givex, I really see a lot of potential. I mean, you're already working with pretty big brands. You mentioned Nike. There's baseball league, Second Cup. So I can only imagine, where you're going to be in a couple of years. So, that's very fantastic. And I guess I just want to, give the floor over if there's anything you wanted to add before we end off. You think anything the audience should know that we haven't discussed just yet?
Well, I think you were pretty thorough in all your questions. I just encourage you to, look at the company and look at the fundamentals, and stick with us, and we'll do what we can to look after our investors and make sure that we're doing the best we can and working as hard as we can to deserve your
I love that. I love that. Well, it's been a real pleasure, Dawn. It was so nice to meet you, Deborah, as we like to call you. You're a boss woman with the hashtag, you're a boss woman. An inspiration. I hope, my audience appreciates that you joined this interview, as we definitely target a female crowd. So it was really nice that you joined. Thank you to you both. And I think we learned a lot about Givex today.
Great. Well, thank you, Esther. And, we're available for, if you want to talk again, and Deb could do the interview.
I'm all for it.
Time. I don't even have to be here.
You as well. Have a good night. And that's all for me from the Klein Report. Thank you.
Great.